Hello again, Mr. RG Stuff here, back in the workshop, and I'm here with another soundbox. And to be honest, I wasn't going to do another soundbox just yet, but one like this appeared on the Talking Machine forum, and it was identified, I think, as a Thorens, and I wonder whether this is a Thorens too. So I'm going to take it to pieces. There's a few things I want to understand. Why is there so much wax here? Is that hiding sort of a hole in the diaphragm? Although, you know, the mica is, you know, delaminating there, it really needs replacing. And also, how big is the diaphragm, so I can sort out a replacement. I don't know what the diameter of it is. And also on the back, what's this funky brass connection here doing? And is that original? I mean, it's very unclear. You can't really see any sort of fixing for it, but it doesn't look the sort of normal diameter, and also it's brass, and I just don't know. I don't know if that's the way it was. It certainly has been modified. It's been cut and bent about, but is that actual piping? Is that original? In fact, looking at it, it looks like it might be nickel-coated brass. So maybe it is the original, but we'll find out when we take it to pieces. So first of all, I'm going to remove, or at least loosen off the needle bar. I've already made sure I've got a screwdriver that will fit the screws. They've got very, very thin slits, but I've got one that will fit that. So we're going to use some lighter fluid. I really ought to find out what this stuff is called, but this is basically what's sold, at least in the UK, for filling up cigarette lighters. But it's quite good as a sort of cleaner and dissolver, or solvent I should say. So stick some of that on and leave it for a moment or three. I probably won't make you wait for it to take effect. I'll just cut the video a little bit. Okay, well that's not very long, but let's see if I can get these screws to move at all. I really don't want to chew up the heads. Yeah, that one's moving. And so is that one. And they may well have come out without the lighter fluid, but it doesn't hurt to stick a bit in. Interesting noise as the springs expand. It shouldn't all go flying off, but you never know. Now I'm still experimenting with camera angles. I don't think this is as quite a good view as I would have liked, but hopefully better than some of the camera angles I've had recently. Well, they're out. Not too much drama there. Now the wax is still holding on the needle bar there. So I think the next thing to do is probably take the gaskets out. And considering the gaskets are completely shot, I mean these are what you expect. They're rock hard. They're literally chipping away. So these are going to be periodic gaskets. And the mica is probably, well, it is in need of replacement. Whether it could be reused is debatable, but certainly should be replaced. So I'm not really going to damage anything here. I'm just removing things that frankly are past their useful life. I don't think I've ever dealt with a set of gaskets this hard, but that just goes to show how few soundboxes I've actually taken to pieces. If you see there, I mean that's just rock hard. It really is. I've never seen gaskets go quite that hard. Now these may well be the original gaskets, in fact the original diaphragm as well, but it's definitely been played with by somebody, because the central waxing and the well, the bit on the back is definitely not the way it came out of the factory. Now the other Thorens which appeared on the Talking Machine forum actually has writing engraved or moulded or embossed into the back of the soundbox, but there's no, I can't see anything through this diaphragm, so it'll be very interesting to see if there is actually anything. I have to say this is much harder than I expected it to be. Don't know whether lighter fluid would help. Let's give it a go. Not likely to harm anything. Actually, it's interesting. I was wondering at the rather odd pattern. Don't know if it's visible, but that's, you can actually see the fact that the tube was hollow and it's literally splitting down the middle, so you can see the interior ball. I don't know if that's visible on camera or not. So quite a lot of me breaking away at the gasket material was just breaking the gasket material in half. Right, well this is coming out now. Very big lump of it there. I think the lighter fluid has helped actually. I think we're in business. The diaphragm's moving, which is great. Okay, so I think that's just going to come out now. Let's see, can we just get that out? Just clear some debris. Just a few specks left. Should have got some tweezers for these, but my tweezers are in a drawer, which I can't get to unless I disturb the camera. Right. Ah, well that's interesting. So, what have we got? So there's the diaphragm. It's actually, well, I'm going to take it off the needle bar, but it might be serviceable. I mean, looking at the back, there's a tiny screw, but there's no sign of sort of like a great big ugly hole or repair or anything. So that might be serviceable. And then inside we've obviously got the bottom gasket still there, but oddly enough, behind the bottom gasket, or at the back of the sound box, appears to be some sort of leather or leatherette material. Very odd. And then obviously the lower gasket. So I think we'll proceed. Yeah, and you can see on the lower gasket, you can see the hole through it. I mean, that's this is just your standard sort of white tubing, of which I do have some, but quite to what standard this soundbox will get restored is debatable. So I think we've answered, well, we sort of answered the question about the diaphragm. I need to take the wax off still, but it's in better condition than I thought it was going to be. So what about the back? Just tempted to try peeling that off. Appears to be some sort of paper. Right, let's find something a bit more suitable. Right, here's a coffee stirrer. I don't want to scratch anything. I can see signs of sort of discoloration, which look like they're caused by, well, the sort of green verdigris type stuff, which might be sort of a reaction between the brass bit and whatever the back's made out of, because the body certainly isn't brass. Well, disappointingly, there's no writing of any description in there. There's nothing there to indicate who might have made this. I mean, I suppose it's possible this black paper was original, but I don't see any reason why it would have been. But certainly for the purposes of taking it to pieces and answering the basic questions, I think they're probably answered. So if it's Thorens, it's not clear it's Thorens. The back does appear to be the original back, even though it's been mucked about with. It might be replaceable. And the diaphragm appears to be in better condition, although it's nothing like great condition, but might be recoverable. I do have some options for diaphragms. I mean, I've made diaphragms before, like this plastic one here, which isn't the right size to go in. But I could certainly make another one like that that is the right size. Something I'd like to try, and whether I'll use it on this soundbox or not, I'm not quite sure yet. But this diaphragm here is made from sort of an old CD case, and it's just hand cut. But I've figured out a way of cutting them on my lathe. So I've just prepared a piece of material here, and I could actually, in fact, any of those sections there would be suitable as a blank. So I might well make a new diaphragm for this using a piece of this plastic, just because I can, really. Although as I said, the original diaphragm is actually in better condition than I thought it was. Okay, well I was going to leave this video just there because clearly there's a bit of work to do to get this back and working again. But I thought actually I'm going to have a go at removing the diaphragm from the needle bar. I'm going to use this Modify 3D tool here. So I don't know if it's a good idea or not to melt the wax, but sort of, yeah, I think just melting the wax and letting it roll off might be the right thing to do. Just see. So I can always clean all the other wax off. I mean, that's really weird. I mean, I honestly thought there would be, you know, a real horror show underneath that wax because so much had been put on, but none from the other side. It's almost like the person who did it heard that you were supposed to wax the needle bar but didn't really know what to do or how much to put on or anything. So I don't know if it's possible to actually remove that. Not budging. Does look quite rusted on actually. The needle bar itself is brass. The screw looks like it might be steel. A bit of heat might help. Just trying to keep this in camera shot. No, it's not going. Going to try some WD-40. Although in some ways soundboxes are precision items, and they are really, I suppose, precision items, they're also very, very simple. There's just so little to them. Partly finding a screwdriver that's the right size. Yep, that's it. Right. One very small screw. One quite bent needle bar. One, well, arguably not serviceable diaphragm, although realistically I suspect it would clean up and work if I wanted to. And from that I can certainly make another one. The only problem I can see at the minute would be is that that is a very small screw. It's a very short screw, and that would not fit through the plastic diaphragm material that I would intend to use. Okay, well I'm going to leave it there for the moment. So I hope you liked the video, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks and bye for now.